My name is Marlon Kistner, and I am the Vice President of Membership and Community Relations. I have some amazing colleagues with me here today that are also going to help present the Leveraging Your Membership presentation, which I think is really important. It's our first time we're in person, so thank you all for being with us today. I'm going to actually have James introduce himself, as well as Katie McGee. So, James, want to say hi? She makes you guys look really sweet, absolutely. So I thought it would be really nice to be able to go around and introduce yourself and let us know where you're from, because this morning as well can really work as a nice networking event for all of you to get to know one another and to support one another, because you're really in the surrounding area. Really what I want to do for those of you who are new to the Bureau as well is just give you more of like a 30,000-foot view of what you are a part of and what we do as an organization. So next slide, Katie. So just some numbers and some statistics that I wanted to share of the economic impact of tourism on the Pocono Mountains. As we know, it's really the #1 industry. So we get 4 million website visits annually. So when you think about your membership, that alone is giving you amazing leverage because of those hits and people that are searching and looking to come to this area. We are a $3.3 billion industry with 27.9 million visitors to our area, to this footprint. So that gives you an idea of the number of people coming into this area. 35,000 jobs, which is close to $2 billion in labor income. We know we're struggling at this point. It's probably something we've said all along. I think right now, I know what we've been hearing loud and clear is just the challenge to get employees. And I think once we get through the summer, let's keep our fingers crossed that we're going to be building that back up. But I have to say, kudos to so many of you and to so many of our businesses for not skipping a beat. And I know it's been tough with employees, but you've got some great, passionate people that are there for you, even though we don't have the full capacity back. But that is pretty amazing. And then really, how does this affect us locally? 520 million in state and local taxes that we're able to bring in and provide. Again, so just a snapshot of the area. And then again, our mission at the Visitors Bureau is to enhance the economic and environmental well-being of our region and members through the promotion of tourism and our marketing as a destination. So again, just an overall view there. So membership categories, I thought this was really important to understand that each of you are very unique. And so we want to make sure we treat you as a unique business. So we have different categories: accommodations, which is like Babbling Brook and Lamar. We have attractions, which may be our water parks. Soaring Eagle is another type of attraction we have, just for some examples. Our vacation home rentals, which I know Pawpack Hills has some of those. Our restaurants, of course, and then we have participating and associate. And so just so that you know what each of those are, our participating members they're really the service to the visitors, so that when they're coming in, it's a service to our visitors, and that may be a membership, which really isn't an attraction, but it can be there. Maybe it's like a fly fishing location, where they're there to help the visitors. And then our associate is actually, that is our member that is a resource and a source to our tourism industry. So if you need things, Lamar, at your place, we may have an outfitter that you could utilize, and benefit by. So each of these different categories have different listings, as you'll see when you go through our website. So again, just to kind of give you an idea. So diving in to actually the member packet, which I really want to give kudos to Katie. She has been the brains and brilliance behind our new membership packet. And when I send that out to you, even if it's just a reminder, you can actually click through and actually go to the different parts of this application for your site. So we're going to get there. Awesome. So the first thing that I have listed, again, this is really going to be an overview of your benefits. First thing, of course, is your website listing. And this is really the most important benefit that you have. I'm bringing up Babbling Brook as an example, But when you give us that information, it's important to us that we have very high resolution photos, your high res logo, so that we can make this look extremely attractive to the visitors that are pulling up and searching on our site. Also, making sure that you have an important description, very compelling. You want someone to read that and be like, man, I need to go there. If you need help with that, that's where we have the professional staff that can actually help you. We have a blogger, a writer, that's all she does. And so if it's something that you want us to take a look at and review, let us take a look at the listing. Even Katie has had, again, 20 years experience right here and really knows how that listing should look. So again, this is just an example, and I think that looks like somewhere I'd like to stay, right? So your website listing is really crucial. So over to the right, access to the PMVB extranet. That is actually going to be another opportunity for you to have training on the back end. So that's what Katie's specialty is making sure that you have your login so that you can actually get in there on your account and you can upload new pictures, maybe seasonally. Or if you have something really cool going on, get in there. And again, Katie, we have this scheduled for next Tuesday. So if you want to do that in-depth extranet training, that's going to be with Katie. And really, she's amazing. She'll even come to your place if you need that time one-on-one, or if we have a small session, it wouldn't be more than 10 people. I think we're keeping that at. But again, it really is being able to provide that listing, but you getting in there and doing a lot of that. And then again, she'll explain a little bit more of that. Our newsletter, we send that out, I think, is it once or twice a month? Twice, maybe? Yeah, so twice a month we'll send the newsletter out, and that's a really good thing to capture. We may have something happening in the area, or maybe there's something we're fighting for with advocacy. What else is in the newsletter? PTN, PMM, Pocono Mountains Magazine.
High-level things that we want our members to be aware of and might be asking you if you want them to take part in.
Yep, and I'm going to talk also about co-op opportunities, which is marketing opportunities. So in that newsletter, you might see, hey, there's a spring co-op opportunity where you can get in on an offer and a deal with us, which I'll just go to that right now. And you can actually, so our cooperative advertising. So this gives you as a member the opportunity to advertise with us, but say you can't afford a $2,000 billboard, we would have you come in with us on a cooperative program, and maybe it would only cost you $500. So learning what those different advertising opportunities are, we have an amazing staff. Molly Moore actually handles all of the co-op advertising, and a lot of times we do it seasonally or with special things coming up. And these are just some examples and some ads. Again, she can explain that in depth with you. I know we also, if you need the help creating the ad, we have a full-time graphic designer. So Kathleen will actually help with some of those advertising if you just don't have the time to do it and you say, here's what I need. Again, we can help you with that. But again, what it does is it gives you this great opportunity to save money and to advertise, which I love. So that's our co-op advertising. Next I see is referrals. So referrals, really as an organization, we are your ambassadors. So I know if someone says to me, where can I find a really cool, quaint place in a cottage in the woods? What am I going to think? Babbling Brook, and I'm in this area. But not only that as staff that we are here, but we have 5 visitor centers. And those visitor centers, they're giving referrals. They're talking about you, and we're tracking those as well. So I think that's important to know that as people come in and they're looking for restaurants or they're looking for things to do, we're giving those referrals, and we're making sure we're keeping track of those for you as well. And I think that's the one thing with our data management, which I was incredibly impressed with. I come from the Chamber of Commerce world, and we did a great job on doing a lot of that advertising, but the tracking that we have at the PMVB, as you will see, we can really show you those numbers. The next thing we have is print. So our travel guide, actually we have them, I think they're in the car. I'll bring them back out for you guys, but our travel guide just came out. So hopefully you guys all received your copy of that. But we also encourage you to take a bunch back to your locations, because that way your guests, your visitors, can actually then grab it and go. And as Katie is showing you, there's also the option that you can actually look at this online as well. So give everybody that link, but then also, I'm still one of those people when I go away, I love to grab all the stuff outside of the stores and look at it when I'm hanging out. So again, they just came in, and I think we print about 200,000 of those, and that also goes in locations even all across like the turnpikes and all the areas out there. So we really have a great reach with that print. And I know this is probably one of the only things we do in print because we are so focused on digital now, which everybody is looking for, but this has always been something that people want. Education and webinars, that is something, again, today is what we're doing. We want to make sure as a member that you're up to speed with today, how to leverage your membership and have access to that. But there might be a training that may be scaled more to your business that we might be able to host. And then every 3 months, we have an overall webinar for members to just tell you what we're doing on a bigger, higher scale. And again, access to professional staff, that first bullet point. And I really can't stress enough, the thing I'm most proud of is that we're all laser focused in what we do. And that's, I attribute to Chris Barrett and really the PMVB board of directors, which is incredible. And it's basically to say, look, Katie, she's amazing. She knows that back end CRM. She knows your website. She knows the listing. She is a graphic designer. She has everything that you need on that back end. I'm out in the public. James is out in the public. We're making sure we're touching base with you. That's our laser focus with membership and community relations. Again, we have a full-time blogger. All she does is write and post blogs, and she's a really good proofer for us too. And then you'll meet Kevin, who is strictly social media. So that's the thing. We are all here working for you. You know, it is our job. We are servant leaders. We're here to support you, and we have the staff to do it. So definitely utilize us for sure. And then that's on our website as well. And let's see here. Again, training in extranet, that's going to be next week. We have client lists and sales missions as well. We do have a sales manager who is working now. Thank goodness we're getting more requests. I think I have heard that. People are now starting to come back and ask to go to places, so she'll work with our properties. If you're a property that would like to host maybe a big group, then contact Valerie Case. Let's see what I have next here. Okay, we did co-op advertising, Pocono Mountains Magazine we have. This I'm excited about. As we reopen, we're going to get back to events. Every year we do a really fun tourism day, and that's something where we pull everybody together, go to a property, do some fun stuff outside. We do have a golf tournament coming up, and that's in September at Hideaway Hills, and we're partnering with the United Way for that. Proceeds will go to a scholarship fund that we have that goes to the industry, which we're really excited about. And then United Way also benefits from that. So we do a lot with nonprofits that I want to touch on. And it's really important to us to support our nonprofits so that we, again, are helping lift those people up if they need help with advertisements or they need help with sponsorships. We're always there to help our nonprofits. So keep that in mind if you have anyone that you know of or even yourself. Let's see, what else? Oh, the other events, we'll have a holiday party, which we're definitely having, so get ready. That's gonna happen this year, and we're gonna have, you know, some beverages, and yay. So, and I actually think we're gonna be at Skytop Lodge, so I just planted the seed with them, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then I did talk about the visitor centers. Katie, if you want to hit on that link, this is really crucial. Again, we have 5 visitor centers in our footprint. So the rack cards that you have, you get them to me, to James, to any of us, and we'll get them to all 5 locations. And that's really critical because people are coming in. When we're at the office in Stroudsburg, we hear them, they're coming in all the time, even at that little location. And then I know we have one right across the street. Here, our office as well. So just make sure you're utilizing that. And I also would say, I would visit one. Take the time to go to one of our visitor centers and walk in, take a look at the rack card, see how placement is, grab a few. Maybe you could learn, a new trade or trick from one of the rack cards that's there, and then get to know the staff that's in the visitor center. Because again, we're your ambassadors. We're your biggest fans when it comes to that. And then advocacy. I put this, I have not maybe enough copies, but I think I gave most of you copies. I think this is one thing that a lot of members don't realize that we do, I would say almost on a daily basis. Chris Barrett, being our president and CEO, he really is the lead charge here, but we advocate for your business. And so if there's something happening in the industry where we need to have a voice, you think about our footprint, we have 4 counties, we have a great board of directors, we have access to a lot of our local legislators, we're in their ear, we're asking them to help. When COVID hit, if you think about what we had to do to shift, Chris really took the reins and said, look, we need to be a site so that we can help you guys navigate something we have never dealt with before. And so that's probably one of the biggest examples I can give you, is being that leader in the community to help you in that advocacy, and that's really important. Now, it's about the reopen. And when things come through and you as a restaurant, when you can't do something or what's gonna happen here, we have those answers because we have the connections to the legislator, and we also have firms that help us with that. So I really thought that was important, that you knew that as an industry, we advocate and we fight for you. And so I wanted to make sure I printed that out. And then job postings. This is Katie's specialty as well. Thank you, Katie, for this. As you know, all of you, most of you may be looking for people. So when this happened, we also have these postings on our website that you can add job postings to on the back end. And this was really hot, I think, over the last month or so. And we did host the job fair as well across the board. And we're going to keep this going. I think that's really important for us. 2 things that you guys have seen out there is our Pocono Promise, which we put out there when COVID hit, that we want to make sure everybody's feeling comfortable and safe being here, and then the job portal. So I think they're going to be ongoing, that I see us continuing to post those positions and maybe having 2 job fairs a year in partnership with our career links and with our chambers, which I think is, to me, it makes a lot of sense. I think the other thing too that we're proud of is we're working hard to get into the high schools, to get into the colleges, so that they recognize this industry as a high priority occupation. And so right now, exactly, it's not that way. And I know James is going to talk a little bit. We did a lot of videos. We've had testimonials. When you look at even our staff, Brian Bossett, who was our second in command, he started, I think, at Camelback and worked his way up, and he is outstanding at what he does. So I think the more that we could all advocate for that, the better that it'll be, because knowing that it's a great career. So we're going to keep fighting that fight, so thank you for that. I definitely appreciate it. And then I think just before I pass it off to my colleagues, a couple things I wanted to just share as well, that we spend $6 to $7 million of our $10 million budget on advertising. So just to give you an idea of what is going back into this region and this area, and that's digital, that's billboards, that's television, that's social media. And I think that's really a proud number. Not a lot of TPAs can say that, but we're spending that kind of money. And it's really in areas like New York, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, Baltimore, Washington, Johnstown, Lancaster, York. So again, really those outside areas. We are in 3.2 million households for Pocono Mountain Television, Pocono Television Network. So over 3 million households, which I think we're hearing that now. Wow, I see you on TV. We see James, we see Chris. And again, we're highlighting a lot of really cool, even intimate little places in addition to our big members as well. And then we have committees. So as we start to reopen, if you want to be involved, we have a small town committee, we have a camping committee, we have finance, exec, and board, which again, we have a really strong board. And then we're also doing a committee where we're working on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that's really important to us, that we're working with the diverse community so that we're supporting that community as well. And that's really everybody across the board that needs that support. Christina Luna we work with, she is in the Hispanic Spanish community and helping us with a lot of those members that might have that barrier that we can actually get on board as members. So very proud of what we're doing, and again, just making sure that you know the depth of where we're headed with membership.
I'm Kevin, for some of you who don't know me. I also come from the member side, so I definitely know what you guys do on your end, and then can definitely tie it into what we're doing on the PMVB end. So the big thing for social is definitely make sure that your listings are up to date. Always keep us in mind when you're taking photos, video, and make sure that we're getting that content. So that fresh content, we'll turn around and use it to help promote you even more. So the more you produce, the more we can get you out there. For our social content calendar, we're always planning 2 to 3 months ahead. So when summertime hits, try to think ahead. So we got Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, and always try to think like, what can we do to help promote this summer? And then when you're getting to that August, September timeline, think of fall. And if you have any content, any events coming up, definitely make sure you're getting that over to us. I'll give all of you a card with my email and cell phone, and you could just send that content over to us. We do have a new system in place. So anytime you're featured on any of our social channels, we have a database to see exactly when you're posted. And also we can sort it to see which members may need a little more support. And then we can also sort by season. So if you're more of a seasonal destination, we could do that as well. Social, like Marlon and Katie said, is driving content to your listings. So it's super important to make sure that your listings are up to date. We'll pull upcoming events. You can see on this slide here, every Thursday we feature your upcoming events for that weekend. So anybody coming, they could see what's happening, where they can go, what they can check out, and we'll do that every Thursday. So just make sure that you're up to date there. We also do social media visits, so we can come out to your property either for a morning, for a day, and just plan around some of the amenities you offer, some of the activities you offer, take video, photos, and then use that to build a campaign on social. Right now, our Instagram stories are doing very well. Within a 24-hour period, we're between 3,500 to 6,500 views just in a 24-hour period. And we're leveraging some new features that Instagram has between Instagram guides. So we're creating destinations around our small towns. So we'll do one we have one now for Honesdale. So it features all of the members within Honesdale, and they can click through right to your listing. Some other things we're doing is Local Eats is doing very well. Average views are right now between 65 and 8,000 views in a 24-hour period. And we're just featuring the dish and where that dish is from. And then another one we just started is the scavenger hunts around small towns. So we started off with kids camping and kids hiking. So you can screenshot it, find those things in the scavenger hunt, and we're gonna roll out ones for small towns as well to try to get any members that are off the main street. We're trying to get them to find different, key points, hot spots, things to check out that are a little closer to your business, just to get them off the beaten path. And then if you look at some of the numbers, we're up to 446,000 followers on Facebook, Twitter, 11,800. Instagram, we just surpassed the 170,000 mark, and we're averaging about, I think, 10 to 12,000 new followers per month on Instagram. LinkedIn, 1,200. And then Pinterest right now is our #2 referral back to our website. So that's another place that we're building out small itineraries around small towns, around events for Pocono Raceway, the Tough Mudder and Air Show. We built small itineraries around those events. So they're going to promote it as a come before, stay after. So that way you know exactly what's within a 30-minute radius of Pocono Raceway. And then YouTube, over 2 million views, 2,000 subscribers. And then YouTube Shorts just launched, similar to Instagram Reels, and those are doing really well. Engagements around 2,000 views for a 15-second video. So there's a lot of cool ways to promote your properties. So if you have an idea, something cool you want to, throw by my way, we can definitely check it out. So between myself and then Kate on our team, we're always out with our cameras and video cameras collecting content.
So, sorry.
No, you're good.
So if we have something that we would like to be out on social media, do we send you the content and then you put it out?
Yep. Yeah, we can definitely do that. With our, well, you can definitely put it out. You can tag us in it. If you tag Pocono Tourism or use the hashtag YesPMVB, that'll pop up on my end, and then I can share it out. If you have a special announcement about something that is not released yet, we can coordinate a date and a time, and we could push it out at the same time. So there's a lot of ways we can get the content out. But if you have someone who's really skilled at photography on staff, you can have them take photos and just constantly feed it over to us. You can create either a Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, and just set it up and just keep dropping stuff in there, and I'll save the link and always check back. So the cool thing about the spreadsheet we created is I know exactly how many posts every property has, and we'll sort that every other week and see what properties need to get a little more promotion. Any other questions? Lamar, do you want to share some details with just social promotions? I spoke with Lamar, was it last week? Yep. Told me about the new dog playpen area, posted about it. I immediately shared it out, and I want to say in 24 hours, there was 3,900 views just on that short 15, not even 15-second video. So there's a lot of ways to, you got something new coming, let us know. We'll get you out there. And the Soaring Eagle rail trail, we posted a 15-second clip, over 48,000 views in less than 2 weeks. So definitely gets. And I did not get the invite, by the way.
Wait a minute, you did. You had a shoot scheduled somewhere else.
Love it.
I say next time, don't you pedal, just let him.
Oh, all right, Lamar. All right. Any other social questions?
Maybe it's good to just reiterate what hashtags are the proper ones in our.
So, yeah.
See a very
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
So our official hashtag is Pocono MTNS. So if you use that, MTNS. And then if you use the hashtag YesPMVB, that'll give us permission to just repost it without asking. Yep, PMVB.
Getting you to comment, all of us to comment
Oh, yeah.
on your posts, keeps it in the flow.
And the
Have to comment.
biggest thing with social is creating that engagement. So if you post something, you tag us, I see it, I'll go onto your post, comment something about your property, and then other people see it, they'll click through to us, and then see more content. So it's just creating that engagement with the visitors and guests definitely increases the click-throughs to your property. I'm trying to think, any other social? But yeah, I think just tag, hashtag Pocono MTNS, yes PMVB, and if you at Pocono Tourism, we'll get you out there.
Thanks everybody for coming, and I hope that some of you have been able to see Pocono Television Network, because we've been trying real hard to get it into your homes, on your devices. And if you haven't, certainly pay close attention, because this is a great opportunity to leverage. You have this wonderful website, you have this wonderful membership team, but now, like Katie said, or Marlon said, we're in 3 million homes on cable systems alone, let alone having Roku, Fire TV apps, Android TV app, and Apple TV app in development right now for Q4. So PTN is short for Pocono Television Network, and this was created a few years back as kind of like a 24/7 streaming platform for our content, which varies from long-form segments like sit-down interviews called Pocono Perspectives. We have some wonderful short videos created by a gentleman named Christopher King, who's over in the Milford area, who did 2019 events. He did like 24 events. And then we were ready to market them in 2020, and you know, we had to put the brakes on. But now we can use them this year to promote all the fairs and the festivals throughout the region. Those are also on PTN as well. And then we have segments that my colleague Brianna Strunk and I produce. We cover the Poconos as we did for TV news. Now we're doing the good side of the news. And we cover stories from, you know, when Costas reopened last year. We'll get to Harmony in the Woods when you guys kick off your season this year. And we have that capability because we have a videographer on staff. Myself, Kevin takes photos and video as well, and we can really kind of create this always fresh content that is on that 24/7 streaming channel, day and night. It's on the visitor centers TVs when you walk in, and then it's on Blue Ridge Cable. It's on Service Electric down in the Lehigh Valley. We're going to be on Adams Cable shortly. We just got on News 12 Plus, which is a 24-hour weather channel in northern New Jersey and Long Island as well, for a 2-hour stint Sunday evenings. And then in State College, we're going to be on a Comcast station out there for 2 hours every Tuesday night. So we're pretty much everywhere that we need to be. We're also over the air on WDPN 2.8 in Philadelphia. So we're broadcasting to everybody who has an antenna. And we're also on this app called Locast, which lets you stream those over-the-air signals free in the Philadelphia market. So that way, you can get that content 24/7. It's always updated. We do a monthly show as well. It's called Pocono Mountains Magazine. That's the PMM that they've referred to recently. It's always timely topics. We do it the first Sunday of every month. It premieres on Blue Ridge Cable, on Pocono Television Network, on Fox 56 now. We're over the air on that channel as well every month. WFMZ in the Lehigh Valley. And we're a lot of different places. And we have to cover 2,400 square miles. And it's a wonderful opportunity to go and venture to Ski Big Bear when they were getting ready for the ski season, which was, you know, we have to help play a role in educating, I think, the visitor and the guest about what's happening with respect to COVID guidelines and everything else that they need to know when they're making a trip here, because it's a great way to have people consume content and share it out. We could share it out on social media networks as well. We don't just have at Pocono Tourism now. We've created a PTN Facebook page. We have a PTN Twitter account. So those are at Pocono TV Network. If you want to follow, like, share, join us in sharing all that content as well. It's kind of another vehicle for us to message to more of a local audience. The Pocono Tourism one is trying to pull people in, right, from outside the area. And so this Pocono TV Network channel can highlight a lot of the different maybe small town aspects or backyard kind of issues that we want to talk about. We just did something on Pride Month in obviously throughout the Poconos, but we had some guests in a panel to discuss that, and then we went to Rainbow Mountain, one of our members, featured them as well because it's timely for that June issue of Pocono Mountains Magazine. We've got one coming up in July. That's a really fun one because we're talking about all the fairs and festivals that are coming back. So the Wayne County Fair, the GDS Fair, the West End Fair, Wally Lake Fest. And so all of those are going to be promoted in our next month, July, Pocono Mountains Magazine. We do the long form and the short form content. We would also love it if you guys have I know Lamar had one done for Babbling Brook, wonderfully done commercial, about 2.5 minutes long. And we're able to take that and put that right onto the network in full rotation. So if you have a 30-second spot, a 15-second spot, if you want to invite us over to shoot something there and get something out as a promo, Kate, Kevin, myself, Tom, our videographer, we can always come to your property, shoot something, and get it out there. I know I did that for a guide service that Marlon brought in. The gentleman was at Lake Wallenpaupack the one day, and I jumped on the boat, shot some video, and had it out the next day. And it was like the perfect kind of member benefit that you want, and it just enhances your membership as well. This season, we're also planning on going live. So we have gone live in the past, but sometimes it's been a little bit of a technological marvel. We do have equipment now that we've invested in that we can go live pretty much from anywhere as long as we have a good enough cell signal. So I think Thursdays, hopefully the first one, there's concerts in the park here in Honesdale on Thursdays and Mondays. And then, Ginny, you guys have something July 2nd is your first show up at Harmony in the Woods. We'd like to get up there. We'd like to go live at the first days of all these fairs and festivals and just anything that would really kind of spur people, maybe in that moment, to decide to come here and visit and book a stay or plan a trip and head out on the golf course or something like that. Because people are thinking, maybe a couple weeks ahead, a couple months ahead, or even just in the moment, hey, what's it look like in the Poconos this weekend? We have a forecasts that are the top and bottom of each hour, about 2 minutes on Pocono Television Network, so that way it shows people what the long-range forecast looks like, what the current conditions look like, with some live webcams as well. We utilize those to promote, the towns. We have one in each town except for Stroudsburg, but that one's coming. We have some at the lake, at Lake Wallenpaupack, so people can watch those live. And then also for PTN, Katie, if you want to pull up PoconoTelevision.com, if that's all right, please. I'll show you guys kind of what the essence of PTN is. It's got a lower bar that we can utilize to message with a crawl. And that crawl, it's streaming live on the website, right there. And you can see this crawl here. You can now stream Pocono Television Network on Roku, Fire TV, and we can always put something there too if there's something happening at your property or in your region to update people. So that's a constant. There's one of the forecasts there, 10 o'clock. It kind of tells you in each one of the county seats what the weather's like currently. And then after that, it's a 30-second radar of the entire region so that people can kind of say, hey, it's a nice day. We can go on out. Or maybe it's not a nice day. We go throw axes at Pocono Axe Works or stay indoors for a little while. And so we can always develop this as we get more content. So if you have content, of somebody who created something for, let's say Milford or for Lake Wallenpaupack, there's a lot of people who are creating content too. Send it our way. We can always put it right on the network, and it'll benefit, I think, not only just the Poconos, but everybody here. So this is a great way that we can enhance that membership. We're always growing. We're looking at different cable systems to get up on, different over-the-top platforms like Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, like I said. And it's just a great way to tell stories about the Poconos as well. I think that's where our forte is. Myself and Brianna are recovering journalists, and we like to talk about our homes. We grew up here. I live here in Honesdale, and so Kate, if you want to go back to, if you don't mind, the presentation and give you guys an idea. This one video we created here for town that may play. So we utilized that's a time lapse of the camera that we have over the cliff. And then because we brought on a lot of members in Honesdale in just the last 2 years in the Honesdale area, we were able to incorporate them all into like a what you can do in a day in Honesdale, because there is so much you can do in a day in Honesdale, and it's its own destination. So it's a great way to kind of incorporate that. We could go to Milford to do something like that. I know Kevin and Kate have been working on videos like that as well, hyper locally. And you know, we also have, in Katie, the far right one on the bottom is our monthly show. So we need to fill about 48 minutes of content every month. So if you guys have any story ideas, please send them our way. It's myself and Brianna and contributor Christina Luna from the Hispanic community talking about issues that are timely in the Poconos. So we did Hispanic Heritage Month in October. We did Pride Month this month. So there's a story that they went on the D&L Trail and, you know, showcased all the things that you can do as you're riding along the D&L Trail from Jim Thorpe to Weissport. So it's a really great facet now. I think that people are tuning into it a lot more. We noticed that, you know, it's at channel 734 on the Blue Ridge spectrum, but they put it on one of the top 10 digital stations because people were watching it. They moved it down the tier because there were enough people watching it. It's a great thing to tune into just for a little bit or for a long while. Our CEO watches a lot of PTN. Yeah, which we should discourage him from that. Really. But if you guys also want to tag us in any post, we can reshare all that content as well that you guys are sharing. And again, if you have a promo, a commercial, anything like that, please share it with us because we'd like to get that out there. The more content, the better. We have to fill 24/7. So.
Like little tidbits.
And that's the way our website's now transitioning is to video first, really, because I think it's 85% of content consumed on the internet is all video, and it's mostly mobile as well, too. So that's a huge aspect for I think we're primed for that with all the content that we do have. We probably have 40, 50 hours worth of content throughout all the different things that we've covered, and we continue to churn it out every month, you know, so, yeah.
I know you're accessing.
Yeah, so we want to be everywhere you are. That's our tagline right now. PTN is everywhere you are. And that's true in a lot of different ways. But for that question in particular, Lamar, I think that that's what we're here for. If you guys want us to come to your property, we can get you on a calendar, you know, plan something in advance. I know that for one of our segments, we did something with HI where we talked with Ishan about just even during the COVID times, their CEO, about breathing exercises and things like that we did virtually, you know, because couldn't do it in person. But do understand we have that 2,400 square miles to cover, 400 plus members. So it does take time, and it's good to plot it out seasonally too. Hey, if you guys have something that you're planning to open, such as Harmony in the Woods, perfect opportunity to get something on the calendar for when that happens, because it'll be timely. So, any other questions? Lori's always a great interview, just so you know. Good, good. Thanks, everyone.